Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
We have a gnarly episode today. So, today I was thinking this was kind of my idea.
I know.
So, we've kind of talked about how the rabbit hole
Leads
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 within.
within.
We've talked
Or
about that.
leads from within.
It comes from within. And what we're always fighting against is what the media has done to us our whole lives,
Yeah.
turned us into bottomless pits. But there's other things,
Well, the big one is they've lied to us our whole lives.
lied to us our whole
You
lives.
know?
But then what's something else that happens is the media makes us feel insecure.
Yeah.
Because I think
I think that's a big thing.
I think if you gave everybody sodium pentothal across the country and you said, "Do you feel insecure?" They'd be like, "Yes."
A lot of people are insecure.
And I think it's because the media conditions us to believe that we're inadequate
Hmm.
and that we're no good and that we're only worthy of our bland dystopian 15-minute city lives.
Oh my gosh, I just had an epiphany.
Epiphany, epiphany, epiphany.
So, yeah, I think what they're doing is they're trying to get everybody to feel like all they're worthy of is a bland dystopian life. Like you shouldn't have a car. You're going to own nothing and be happy. Like you shouldn't strive for anything better. Why have any ambition? Like the younger generation seems to really lack ambition that like older generations had,
Yeah.
because they're saying that, you know, they want people to have a universal basic income. So why would you want to do anything if you're just going to be given everything for free? You know what I mean? Like where does the drive come from? They're basically kind of like squashing the drive in people and like making everything boring and the same and you know making you feel like you're not worthy of better or you don't need to strive for better.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember the dog in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
They want you to have your dog in a wheelchair and you just muddle through.
Yeah.
You're not thriving.
No, and your dog's in a wheelchair.
And your dog's in a wheelchair. So we'll help you muddle through with blue pills.
Which episode did we talk about?
That was I think that was Love, Joy, and Hope.
Was that
I think so. Or it might have been um
the new blue pill?
it might have been The Rabbit Hole Goes Within, but basically we were talking about that one because we were talking about how um the media kind of renders you into this like kind of submissive state. And the other thing that you were talking about was what I was thinking about in terms of insecure. Like kids don't even date anymore.
No,
They
it's
don't want
weird.
to. They don't want to like have relationships. They're just like, oh, I'm just like a lot of dudes. I think have just given up on having a girl. They're just like,
But when we were kids, like that was what everybody wanted was like, ooh, we want to go out with that one, or we want to go to the prom or the
yeah,
dance with this other one, and maybe go to a bonfire and meet somebody.
yeah. You
Yeah.
always wanted to find some girl. Like I was always looking for some girl, but now it seems like they've got these surrogates. You got your robot you can have sex with. You know.
That doesn't sound fun.
And then porn is way more available to dudes these days than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, porn you kind of had to do some work for.
I think it was like Playboy magazine.
Yeah,
That was like the big thing.
and I
You
was
know,
like, you
it
kind
was
of.
kind of more artsy, sort of, wasn't it? I don't know.
I
Naked
mean,
girls.
it wasn't as easy to make yourself, you know what, when you're watching a video of some girl. I mean, that's a lot more vivid.
Right.
But also, like to get a Playboy, you had to go buy one,
And you
and
had to be 21.
you had to be 21, so you had to find someone to buy one for if you're underage, and
Yeah.
then buying one kinda sucks, and then you have it sitting around, you gotta hide it.
Your mom might find it.
Mom might find it. Then videos came out, and you could go rent videos, but that was
Um,
always kinda weird because you had to go to that section, and
yeah.
then your friends go walk in and see you over in that
They
section.
think
They're
you're a
like
loser.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" "Nothing. Nothing, I was just looking around." Yeah, I'll take this one, and, Debbie does Dallas, thank you." But, and then they had, like, the black bag, you had to walk out the video store.
Oh God.
The video store here in town used to have, a porn section, and, I rented a few porns from there, and what happens is, they give you your movies in, like, this black kind of bags, and they're
So you know anybody walking out with a black
oh,
bag?
yeah, yeah, you're like,
You know what kind of movie night that guy's having.
it's kinda like the Black Eye Club, it's a
Yeah.
black bag club. So,
Right.
anyways, I think that they've kinda trained dudes to just kinda stay in their coffin apartment and just watch porn.
Oh my gosh.
So, there's a lot of insecurity going on, and I'm wondering if the media portrays unrealistic depictions of men and women
Yeah.
to the point where, you get rendered into this state where you feel completely inadequate.
I think that's a big part of it. And also, didn't you say that they're saying like 1 in 4 kids is like trans or LBQXYZ?
Yeah.
I mean, 1 in 4? Like, how is that possible? That has got to be media indoctrination and brainwashing because
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't add up, you
And
know?
that kind of pertains to insecurity too, because what we've talked about is why do people identify with that?
Right.
Is because they kind of have like an identity that fits in. They feel like they fit in
Right.
somewhere.
Well, it's like it kind of plays up to that whole victimhood mentality, and everybody, I think every kid, like, you know, at some point, most people are going to go through a stage where they feel insecure, like maybe puberty or maybe like starting high school, whatever it is, you're going to go through a time where you're feeling insecure. And I
Yeah.
think what they're doing now is they're feeding on that. And instead of just like, it's the normal insecurity of a 13-year-old or whatever. No, you don't have to feel insecure. You're probably trans or whatever, and here's this whole group of people who will accept you. You can be accepted if you're LGBXYZ, just come along with us. And I think the
Mhm.
media is, through social media and, movies, TV shows, whatever, all these politicians who are supporting this nonsense are pushing this idea that this is normal and you've got a whole group of supportive people on your side if you become this way. So it's feeding into the insecurities of young, vulnerable people,
That's a great point.
you know.
That's a great point. And then we've also talked about how fear is kind of like the predicate of MK Ultra.
Hmm.
So fear is kind of like insecurity. Insecurity is kind of fear.
Hmm.
It's kind of fear of rejection.
Right.
And so when you have somebody in fear, they're easily what?
Manipulated.
Yeah, suggestive, right?
Suggestive.
So you
Yeah.
can kind of so like what happens with their insecurity is they what do? They go turn to media.
Yep.
So now let's take a hypothetical example.
Okay.
So she's 28 years old and she's kind of mousy looking, but she's cute, but she's not really getting a lot of attention from dudes. But now she starts watching Hunting Wives.
This is like your new favorite show.
So now she starts watching Hunting Wives. And so she's going, oh my gosh, look at how exciting
Margot is.
Margot is. Look at how desirable she is.
Hmm.
And look at how much fun she has. And I'm insecure. So what I'm apt to do is idolize Margot and maybe adopt that worldview
And
and
just go be a slut instead of
kind of
being
go be a hot slut. And maybe that'll be better for me to just go be a hot slut.
right. So you're going to be socially engineered by these TV shows. But here's another scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, what if like so you're like 13 or 14 or maybe 16 even, and you're feeling kind of insecure, and maybe the boy that you had a crush on like didn't ask you to the prom, and you're like really bummed out, and you start cruising through, Instagram or whatever, and you see this influencer, and she's like covered in tattoos, and she's got the big rings in her ears, the big holes,
Yeah, the holes.
yeah, which is another that's another aspect
Bod
of
mod.
it's bod mod is another aspect of insecurity, I think. So then these
Tattoos.
tattoos, and so they see this and they think, wow, and this person has like 30,000 followers, like look how popular she is, I want to be like that,
Yeah.
and so I think like the bod mod is a big um it's a big insecurity thing. I think people who are insecure feel like they have to modify what they
Oh,
have,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like if you look at some of these people that got tattoos all over their face and gold teeth,
Yeah.
that just reeks of desperate to fit in.
Right.
That's
To fit into,
insecurity.
like, they didn't fit into like whatever, like the normal was or whatever. So maybe they can fit into like the weird, and like,
They're just desperate,
yeah.
and that's all manipulation. I think what it is somehow they got convinced that their body with no tattoos and their teeth with no gold fillings was inadequate.
hmm
You're just normal and you're undesirable. Now you have to go modify yourself so you can
And,
become enough.
and be weirder than the last person.
Yeah. So I think that's going on. And I think also,
Yeah, because like, so like the other day, where was I? I was somewhere, and oh, I was at this like kind of this little party I went to, and this young mom shows up with two little kids, and she looked fairly normal, but she had like the huge things like in her ears, like, but you couldn't even tell they were like discs, so you couldn't really see the holes, but you could tell they were those things that make the holes.
yeah,
And I was thinking, what is the point of that? Like, why not just wear disc shaped earrings if you like the way that looks? Like, why would you go out of your way to make your ears bigger than they already are? Like, don't most women want like smaller ears? Like, I don't know. Why do you want to look like Dumbo? Or I don't know. I
it's a
just don't.
media manipulation.
It's super weird to
Bod mod is maybe
I know. Is there like a sexual aspect to
you know
those
what it
holes?
might be? Epiphany,
I don't
epiphany,
get it.
epiphany.
What?
What if it's mutilation and
You
there
have to ruin your body.
you mutilate yourself and that kind of pertains to like the transies because
Interesting.
they mutilate their bodies. They
Yeah.
chop their boobs off and their what's off.
Yeah.
And maybe mutilation is the behavior when you're insecure. They go mutilate yourself. That'll help you feel better.
I totally think you're right on.
Because why would you go?
I don't understand it, but I think you're right.
Why would you go put big holes in your ears?
It,
That's like a mutilation.
yeah. Does it help you hear better?
Or why are you gonna go put like piercings all over your body?
Yeah.
That's kind of mutilating yourself.
Yeah.
I think it all kind of and tattoos are kind of mutilation.
It's
Yes.
insecurity.
So,
You're not enough the way you are,
but it's weird. It's insecurity, but then it's mutilation. Is
Right.
the behavior that's the
So
outcropping.
so you're insecure about the way you look. So then you decide to make yourself look worse.
So
It's
then
weird,
you go and do
but
like this
they're
behavior,
convinced
and it's
it's
all
better.
driven by the media, and it's all because you know um, being rejected and being lonely, we've talked about this, being unwanted is so painful.
hmm
And for some people, it's unbearable. They kill themselves.
Right.
So if you're rendered into that state and then you turn to media, they gotcha.
Yeah. And then they say, "Oh, come with us. We welcome you like this, but just
Satan knows.
get a little weirder."
Satan goes, oh, good, good, good. I know you're ugly and you're not wanted. It's fine. Here, come watch this. Here's how you deal with being ugly and unwanted.
You shave off half your head,
Yeah.
and you get big holes in your ears, put a bunch of
Yeah.
tattoos all over your face,
Yeah.
and wear all black.
chop your boobs off.
And you're good to
All
go.
you gotta do is chop your boobs off and you'll feel much better. I'm telling you. That's how you're gonna really feel good, is you're gonna be a man and you'll have like a little lump of flesh down there. That's how you'll be happy. See, that's what happens. See, that's how it is. You get rendered into this state where we talked about low self-esteem too. People have low self-esteem.
They do.
They feel like crap about themselves, and then the media just completely manipulates them and turns them into walkers, tattooed walkers. So that's why I wanted to talk about this today. I think that's kind of a big thing. I think people need to, you know what I kind of thought about? Because I've had to overcome this myself.
Really?
I've had like certain people have said things to me, and certain media has said things that make me not feel good about my body sometimes. And
Hmm.
I feel like, you know what? I'm inadequate. My body's no good. And I've had to fight against that.
And that's so ironic because you look great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But when you don't feel good about yourself, no matter
It's a mental thing.
people can give you compliments until they're blue in the face, but if
Right.
you don't feel it.
Right.
So what I realized was the media tries to condition me since I was a little kid that I'm not good looking.
Hmm.
My body's not what you're supposed to be, you know? So I have had to check this out. This is an epiphany.
Okay.
I have had to say, I don't have to internalize the media's critique of my body. I don't have to own that. If the media says that I should look like somebody else, that's fine. I don't need to internalize that and own that myself.
Hmm.
I can love myself. And I think that's what people need to do. And having love for yourself is really important.
Well, I think, you know, a good way to do that is to have a goal and a purpose. And I think this is bringing me back to their plans too, in not wanting people to have any goals or ambitions. I think that's a big part of it because if you have no goals or ambitions and you have no purpose, it's really hard to have a lot of self-respect and, feel good about
Yeah.
yourself. You know what
I
I mean?
mean, if you are content to go live in a coffin apartment with VR goggles and treat locust bean paste, that's not self-esteem.
No,
That you've completely sold your self-esteem.
right,
You're like, I just am happy with just bland dystopia.
right.
I think that's maybe why. Epiphany, epiphany,
Oh
epiphany.
my gosh. We're having a bunch of epiphanies on this.
Today, okay, so what the culture club does is through the media, they render you completely no self-esteem and insecure. That way you will resign to a 15-minute ghetto, 15-minute city ghetto, and extermination.
Order your coffin.
He'll order your coffin.
Totally.
Because you have been
This is
now,
what they want.
because you have been like conditioned to believe that you're inadequate. You're never going to be fulfilled. You're never going to have love.
You're never going to own
You're
anything.
not going to own anything. No, you're never going to be loved. No one's ever going to love
You'll
you.
probably never even learn how to drive.
Never
You're
learn how to
just going to
drive.
get on your e-bike.
You're just going to have Wingstop and Cheesecake Factory with your platonic friends, and then go back to your coffin apartment and die.
Netflix.
No, Netflix and your VR goggles. And I think you have to have completely been demoralized.
That's what they're doing. They're demoralizing people.
That's what it is.
Totally.
And part of demoralization is insecurity and low self-esteem.
Yeah. And, that brings up the whole Ozempic thing
Yeah.
because, they're always like putting out this message of, oh, fat is beautiful and, you look great, you're plus sized or whatever. But
You're hot.
but you should do Ozempic
But take
because
some
you
Ozempic.
don't want to be that fat. You can lose 10
Yeah.
pounds.
Lizzo
Fat is
is hot, but you still need Ozempic.
yeah.
You know what they do? You know what they do with Ozempic, I've noticed, is they convince people that it's a health risk. It's like, no, you're beautiful, but it's healthy. You
It's
need to
healthy to inject this
you need
mystery into your stomach.
Gila monster venom in your stomach. That's healthy
Yeah.
because you're overweight.
And then plus you might lose 10 pounds.
You're
And
gonna lose
then
10
like
pounds.
that's probably like more beautiful.
And what is in Ozempic? Mind control, make you go hang yourself, buy
A
a scarf,
scarf from a doorknob.
make you order your coffin.
Yeah.
You could order your coffin. So I feel like maybe I'm not the only one that's had a low self-esteem and insecurity my whole life, and maybe it's been foisted on me by the media. And maybe the key is you don't have to internalize the media's assessment of who you are.
That's a good point.
Your body, because do you believe that people can be beautiful with all different body types?
Sure. Of course.
I think it's important that you stay in shape. You got to take care of yourself. If you want to be considered beautiful, you have to take care of yourself.
Right.
You have to eat right, and you have to exercise, and you have to love yourself so someone else can love you.
Exactly. And I think, it's not always about the outward appearance. It depends on how you act too. And remember, I told you how my grandma used to always say, beauty is as beauty does.
Yeah.
I think that's such a great phrase because it's totally true. Like, I've known some people who look like on the outside, they look like they're so beautiful, but they're just like nasty people and they're just not attractive. And then
Mhm.
I've seen some people that like they don't look like classically beautiful or whatever, but they emit some kind of beauty, and they are attractive. And those people end up attracting other people.
What is attractive is self-love. That's attractive. And it doesn't matter what your physical traits look like. If you love yourself, and so treat yourself good and obey yourself, and you'll be beautiful.
And find a purpose.
Find a
You know what I mean?
purpose.
Like, if there's something that you love to do or something you feel strongly about, or something you can share with the world, some kind of talent or a gift, there's an outlet for that somewhere. Like, we've found this outlet for
That's right.
ourselves.
And
So,
does this bolster your self-esteem? It does mine.
yeah,
I feel good.
I feel great about having those 85 followers on Rumble.
I feel I feel good about the truths that we put out, and
Yeah,
I feel good about how that we stay true to what we say.
yeah.
And that's important because having a low self-esteem, you're where the culture club wants you.
That's where they want you.
They're going to corral you then.
And if you have low self-esteem, you're easier to manipulate. That's exactly the kind of people they want.
So here's my advice for somebody who's got insecurity and low self-esteem. Here's the white pill.
Okay.
Um, take good care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you can't control yourself around food and you don't exercise, you're not going to look good to other people.
No, and you're going to feel worse about yourself.
You're going to feel worse about yourself. So you have to have discipline, you have to have self-control, and you have to take good care of yourself. Be healthy and in shape.
Yeah.
And so people are like, oh, well, that means that you're fat shaming. No, I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying you need to take care of yourself because that shows that you love yourself.
Yeah.
Then you also have to not internalize the media's depictions and say, you know what, I don't fit the way that media says is beautiful. Like I was thinking about this, like we tend to look at like for instance, if you're a dude, you're going to look on the screen at dudes who are depicted as desirable to women.
Hmm.
And you're going to compare yourself to those dudes and say, that guy's desirable to women. And you're going to say, I don't resemble him. I'm not desirable to women. No, that's the wrong takeaway. The takeaway is you don't have to internalize what the media is telling you is attractive. You can be attractive by taking care of yourself and by loving yourself and by obeying yourself and by being true to yourself. You're going to find people who are like minded and you're going to find people who love who you are.
That's true.
You
That's a
know,
great point.
That's what I
Yep,
was thinking.
totally.
So, if you're out there and you feel insecure and you feel lonely and you have low self-esteem, start taking care of yourself and obeying yourself and trust that by doing that and putting your best foot forward in your life. I think that's important too,
Yeah,
to put your best foot forward.
right.
Because how many people are kind of putting out a half-assed effort?
Yeah, like not really trying.
They're not really trying.
That's what that totally reminds me of.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever see the movie Best in Show?
I love that
Love that
show.
show. And Eugene Levy was like this nerdy
Yeah, yeah,
guy, and they said, oh, he's got two left feet. They were talking about dancing. They
yeah,
were
yeah,
like, he
yeah.
has two left feet, and then the camera like goes down to his feet, and they're like, no, he really does. He
Yeah.
really has two left feet.
I love that movie.
So
That's the same guy who did Spinal Tap.
I know.
They,
I love all of those movies. They're all
it's the same
super
type of
funny.
humor. It's like that
Yeah.
tongue-in-cheek, real dry
I
humor.
love that. It's silly and it's clean, but it's just silly and funny. And I've done a few things like that.
No way.
You saw one of them.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
But
That is.
I actually had an idea for I started writing this script that I wanted Eugene Levy to be in because
I love him.
I love him.
He's in
So
American Pie.
he's hilarious.
He's so great, and he's so. I think he's from my country from 1948.
Oh, yes. Okay. Still like him.
He looks like the adult version of Millhouse from The Simpsons.
Oh my God.
He looks like a Millhouse grew
He
up.
looks like one of those Sesame Street characters with the big eyebrows.
Yeah.
What's the Cookie Monster or no?
Oh
What's
no 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 no.
the
Nerdy.
yeah
Bert. It
yeah,
looks like Bert.
or it kind of looks like the green one that lived in the trash can.
Oscar the Grouch. Totally. He's got gnarly brows.
Yeah,
They're like prominent.
he's super funny.
But
I don't know.
that's
That made me
that's a
think
good point. That's a good point.
you want to put your best foot forward, even if it's too.
Even if it's too left feet. Oh my God, you're so funny. Plus, you know, Eugene Levy is a good example. He looks like somebody who's got a good self-esteem and loves
Right.
himself, and
Yeah.
he
He
looks like
doesn't.
he
He
looks.
doesn't look like Brad Pitt,
No,
and he
but he looks like he's totally rock steady in who he is.
yeah, and
And
people love him.
and women probably want to be with him.
Yeah.
He's probably got a beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And he's loved him for years.
Yeah.
So that's the key. It doesn't matter what you look like.
No.
You just got to love yourself.
Take
So
care of yourself.
in the media,
Clean your teeth and trim your fingernails.
you do have to do that.
Yeah.
I think
Self-grooming is important.
I think people kind of leave that out. I
Yeah.
mean, they act like, well, I should just feel good about myself no matter what.
People
No.
don't want to be with dirty people.
If you are
Wear deodorant.
if you are 500 pounds,
People don't want to be with stinky people either.
no. And if you're 500 pounds, people are like, dude, can you please control yourself around food for our sake?
Yeah.
So
Because we can't afford it.
you
We
exactly.
can't afford the groceries.
You can't just go and be a fat
bottomless
slob
pit.
and feel good about yourself. But what I'm also saying is you can't allow the media to
Dictate.
drive your uh, self your self-esteem.
Right.
Your self-esteem.
Don't let the media drive your self-esteem.
That's what it is. Because the media, it's the culture club wants you to feel like crap about
They're
yourself.
trying to drive our behavior, and we're not going to let them.
No. And that's how you do it. So that was the key takeaway. The white pill was, guess what? You don't have to internalize what the media tells you is your value.
Yeah.
Because the media might say, hey, by the way,
The media has bad values.
they do. They're like Margot or nothing.
Yeah.
But no, you don't. If you're a girl, you don't have to look like Margot. I mean, I'm a dude. I'm telling you, you don't have to have the big boobs and the big butt. Every girl.
She doesn't really have those, but
No.
she's so hot.
And look at Margot. Margot's a good example, like you just brought up.
Yeah.
Her body type is not like the typical porn star type.
No.
She's got kind of a unique body. But the thing that's cool about the actress that plays Margot, I don't know her name, but she's very confident in her skin.
Yes.
And that's very sexy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is learn to be confident in your skin. And if the media is telling you that you should feel like crap about yourself, you can say, I don't have to internalize that. Because the media might say, well, there's not any people in depictions and shows of someone like you getting any play. But that doesn't necessarily mean you should feel like bad about yourself. Take care of yourself, put your best foot forward, and love yourself.
Perfect. Perfect summary. I think we should just end it right there.
Sounds good.
That was a good one.
That was awesome.
I'll talk to you later.
That was short and sweet.
I know.
All right, good.
Bye.